It's 9:43 p.m. Saturday, July 18th, 2020. Um, it's been kind of a rough week, or I guess a rough couple weeks. Um, I knew that as soon as I started recording, I was gonna forget what to say, so I um, wrote a couple little things that I would want to talk about. Um, so I'm gonna try to get this shit off my chest real quick. I'm gonna pause this real quick because I forgot to do something. Okay, I made a playlist of music specifically for when I make rambles. Hopefully this won't be too annoying being in the background the way it is. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I wrote down a couple things that I would have wanted to talk about because the state that my mental is in right now, I knew that I wouldn't be able to keep track of anything. So, um, but yeah, I would have recorded this earlier. I wanted to record this earlier, and I was about to, but um, there's of course I live in a house with like three other people, so obviously house activity, stuff like that. Um, I tried to make sure that I would be alone for as long as possible before I record, so here I am at late at night doing this. I was gonna do it earlier, but yeah, it's just like so. My birthday naturally was like 5 days ago, and but I went to my grandmother's house. My mama, I went to her house to get some presents. Just like was it yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday. But I went to my mama's house yesterday or the day before to get some gifts that she had gotten for me, and I had to go outside um, just to be away from people for a while, just to be by myself for a minute, like defrag. Um, and I recorded a journal while I was outside. Um, and I listened back to that recording a few hours ago, and I was like, listening to the shit that I was saying, I was like, wow, um, my energy really has been low. And that's the thing, I've been so tired for the last week, 2 weeks maybe. I think it's been like 2 weeks that I've been really tired, but the last 5 or 6 days, especially, I've been really bad. Because at this point, I'm almost convinced that my depressive episodes have been clicking on so often that it almost feels like it's been a week long breakdown. I know that's not true, but it feels almost like it's just been a non-stop breakdown for like a straight week, and it really fucking sucks. And it's been destroying my motivation and my desire to get out of the bed. The biggest detriment, and I say this, I haven't been um, doing self care very well lately, but one of the biggest detriments to me personally that's been going on is well, there's two things. One is my lack of, oh my god, that's really loud. Um, One of those is my lack of drawing inspiration, and I want to draw. My mom came really close to convincing me to start drawing again, but for like I said, the last week, it's almost felt like an ongoing breakdown. I want to make progress, I really do, but it's just so hard when I feel like I feel like I'm quite literally just breaking down completely, and my writing as well is taking a hit. Like for the last 2 or 3 days, I've sat at my computer with Google Docs open, genuinely trying to actually write, but I just couldn't because I have no inspiration to do it. I have no drive to actually try. It's like there's a faint spark there, but it doesn't go any further than that. Like I look at that blank paper, or I'll look at a blank paper and I'll get sunk, and then I'll look at something that I already wrote before and I'll get sunk. Um, and I've tried sketching humans for a few days, and I feel like dog shit every time I try to do that. And then I tried editing some dialogue and stuff a while back, and that made me feel like dog shit. Uh, so it's just like, oh my god, for the last week it's been horrible for productivity, and I want to say that it's not my fault, but like half it kind of is, but it kind of isn't at the same time. In that my episodes are picking up in frequency really hard, but then again, I'm not really trying very hard. I'm not trying as hard as I could be trying, you know? But, you know, I'm I feel bad because with Kara's Brownies series, it's like she's stuck too. Um Neither of us really know what the fuck is going on at this point. Um and I'm probably gonna put a timestamp for this area, because I'm gonna try to keep solely on the topic of brownies at this point. Um, but the thing is about brownies is we a few stories have already been made, a couple narrations have already been released by this point, and yet um, we still don't really know who the bakers are made up of completely, and we don't even know who's coming when. So we don't have a set timeline for brownies yet, and I feel bad about um I feel bad about bringing up anything to Kara because I feel like I'm sticking my nose in a place that it doesn't belong. And I know she herself called me a co-writer. I get that, but I still feel weird saying certain things or giving my opinion on certain things, or I'll feel bad about giving her certain ideas because I'll feel like I'm overstepping my bounds. And then there's just the whole like it's such a daunting brownies is such a daunting project in general, because of the sheer amount of characters in it, and then there's the fucking story that is it's still kind of in its infancy. It's getting there, but it's not fully developed yet, and it's just difficult to look at all of that and be like, yeah, I know what to do with this. you know you can't look at all that and be like, yeah, I know what to do with this. I don't know, it just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it's just hard. It's a daunting project, and since it's not since it's not mine really, I feel not good about saying anything about it. Being a co-writer of a series that I'm a fan of is a really strange thing. I'm in a really weird place. But the thing about my motivation, and on one hand, like, yeah, I could be adding little things here and there because we're working. The only thing that I have to really do right now is of Demons and Rose Petals, and I can't even do that because Kara's not ready to work on it because she's doing other things. And I have to wait until she's ready to get back with me on that. But I just don't have the drive. It's like anytime I look at stuff anytime that I look at anything, any of my work in progress pieces, I don't have the balls to like keep going with it. I don't have the balls to fucking write down ideas, write down concepts, because I'm afraid that they'll be bad. And I know that I gotta get over that eventually because you gotta suck before you get better. I know that. Even the production team for The Lion King had some really shitty ideas before the final product ended up happening. But even with that knowledge, it's still really difficult for me to work in spite of my fear of failure. So there's that. I hate the feeling, like, especially when it comes to something that I'm really excited about, a project that I really want to get stuff done on, a project that I really want to work on, something that I actually want to do. When it comes to that, the feeling of like sitting on my hands and waiting is such a hard thing to accept. Because I don't have a life. Here's the thing, I don't have a life. I have literally nothing better to do than envelop myself in fantasy and fiction and think about that and lay around my house and do fucking fuck all at this point. And meanwhile, Kara, she's so busy with doing stuff. And I can't do anything until she's ready to work on a Demons of Rose Petals. And I'm like, God damn it. But at the same time, there's a little quiet voice in the back of my head that is telling me that maybe we should go ahead and get Of Demons and Rose Petals done. Or maybe we should look over A New Friend again. Or maybe we should just... So here's where things get complicated for me in my head. Because I feel like I'm overstepping my bounds again. Because I feel like... And yeah, I've decided I'm probably gonna upload this journal, just so that I can keep it in a place where I'll feel a need to look at it all the time. So Kara, if you're listening to this part, I want to propose something to you. In my opinion, and this is coming from a fellow writer, this is coming from one of your co-writers, this is just an idea. You don't have to listen to me. You can write me off. I don't care. I'm just wanted to give you an idea and see what you think of it. If at any point you want to talk to me about it, that's fine, but I propose that maybe we might be getting too ahead of ourselves. Like, we've talked about Zara. I don't know what to... I might need to call you about this so that I don't spoil anything, but we've talked about stuff that's far ahead in the future of the series, and yet something as simple as who the Bakers are hasn't even been carved in stone yet, you know? And I feel like maybe we should take this one story at a time, or two stories at a time, instead of thinking about stuff that's way far ahead of us. Because the way we're handling it right now, it's like there's just so much, and we can't really organize. And I feel like maybe we should take it more slowly. And by that, I don't mean, oh, we need to pause for a while. No, I mean literally. The workflow can stay consistent, it can stay consecutive, but we should start with the basics. We should really focus on the basics, and what I'm hoping that the Brownies / Fantasia Pop concept stream will accomplish is that we will finally have proper groundwork to continue the series, because, let's face it, at this point we do not have stable groundwork to continue this series. We just don't. We don't even know who the Bakers are. We don't really understand the extent of Zara's magic abilities. We don't know when certain Bakers appear in the story. And it's simple stuff like that I think if we paid more attention to at the moment, we would be able to zoom right through it. It would be easier for us to focus on. But yeah, the development on the story is kind of all over the place because there's so much to work on, and I'm not saying that the development is all over the place because of like poor writing or anything. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I'm gonna pause that because it's really annoying. I'm saying that the development is kind of a mess because there's a huge workload, and it's being put on two people, and those two people are really excited about it, and they can't really they can't focus on one thing for very long. They keep bouncing around to different ideas all the time. So yeah, the Brownies series is really exciting, and it's fun to write for, and the prospects of it are really cool, especially since this will be the first time I will practice voice acting and stuff, and it's a very enticing thing. So yeah, I'm hoping that eventually, because me and Kara both, from what I can tell, I might be wrong, but it seems like everybody involved with brownies at this point is in a funk for whatever reason, and it doesn't seem like I'm the only one that's hit writer's block. So yeah, I can definitely see why she put it on hiatus. Fantasia Pop is infinitely more daunting than Brownies is, for dozens of reasons. And yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. It is. Let's see. What else? Was I going to talk about anything else? No, I hadn't written anything else to talk about. But I'm gonna put a little thing at the very end here. I don't know if I'm going to make any more Raytana rants. I think I want to release one more rant about Raytana, and that will be it. Because the shit that she keeps pulling out of her ass about her Muffin's promise is making me so mad. And listen to me, if I didn't have these Discord servers, or server plural, there's one Raytana related server that I'm a member of. It's not the main one that Kara advertised. It's a different one, a private one. If I didn't have this server and Kara to vent to, the videos that I've made would be so much more angry and so much more irrational. Because since I have Kara to vent to and I have the server to vent in, I have a place to get out my irrational knee-jerk reactions so that I can make proper videos afterwards. I know my most recent one, The Purest Immaturity, it was more fueled by genuine anger than most of my videos about Raytana. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about my delivery of the things that I said. I'm not saying that I regret the things that I said. Absolutely not. I still stand by everything that I said in that video. But I could have thought about it a little more, because I literally woke up at like 6 o'clock that morning, and a DM that Kara sent me was the first thing that I saw, and I immediately recorded that. Audio as soon as I got up, and that led to it being really hostile, and I apologize for that. I will revisit my rants about her promise eventually, and I will attempt to do it in a more coherent way, a more civil way. But yeah, I don't think about it all the time. I'm not obsessed over it, but when it does come to mind, it does make me very angry, because her head is so far up her fucking ass that she cannot see that she didn't break a promise. It's ridiculous to me. I don't understand. But, like I said, I may or may not make a final rant about her, and that will be it. But at this point, I've just decided that it's a complete waste of time, and that I'm over it for the most part. I've moved on from pretty much everything else that I ever ranted about her for, except the Muffin's promise. And I haven't moved on from it, not because I actually give a shit about Muffins, because I really don't. When I read Sting, let me see here. I think it was Sting, the Last Crusade, and Let's Welcome Chaos. Those 3 stories disappointed the fuck out of me for reasons that I may or may not rant about. I'm not a commentary channel. I don't know anything about making commentaries. I don't have editing prowess at all. So, obviously, if I were to make a rant about her Muffin series, it would be super amateur at best. Yeah, I've moved on from everything but the promise, and hopefully, if I make a final rant about her Muffin's promise, that will have gotten it off my chest. But yeah, I don't even look at her Twitter anymore, and I'm seriously contemplating unsubscribing from her because she just makes me irrationally angry, and I'm tired of dealing with it. So, with the Raytana stuff out of the way, I talked about brownies. I might go back into that again, I don't know. But, right now, I want to go into how I feel right now. I should have done that at the beginning, but I will do it now. I will remedy that now. Hold on a second. Okay. Right now, I feel like a worthless lump. I don't feel completely shitty though. I don't know. I have been extremely unproductive for the last few days because, like I said, it feels like it's been a never-ending breakdown for like the last week. Um, Physically, I feel really weak. Um, I feel kind of, I don't know. I had a headache a while back that was fucking killer. I'm glad it ended. It's probably because I've been drinking soda a lot recently. It's probably just caffeine withdrawal. Damn it. I haven't. I know this is kind of awkward, but my personal hygiene has taken a huge hit because I've just felt like absolute dog shit. So I have not been taking my care of myself very well. I will attempt to try and remedy that tonight, um, by showering and stuff. Um, I have had like one bowl of cereal, a bowl of cheese noodles, and a couple pieces of butter bread all day by this point. I have okay, right now I'm just coming to the realization that I have eaten pretty much nothing of real substance. Um, I started to theorize a while back that most of what I'm feeling physically is because of malnourishment. I think that might be true. I'm also overweight, so being overweight and malnourished is not a good combination. Um, I'm, it's not about appearances or, adhering to unrealistic beauty standards, or anything like that. It's about being healthy. Like, if I don't stop living like this, I'm going to fucking die of a heart attack at like 30, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to attempt to live better eventually. I will do my best. Obviously, I'm not very good at working hard. It's not something that I was raised to do. It's not something that I really have in mind to do very often, but I will do my best. Um, Back to the writing thing. I don't know. I'm a massive pussy, and I can't handle one-on-one conversations. So maybe I don't voice chat with Kara as much as I should. Well, I don't even message her about brownies unless it's an idea. I don't actually have lengthy conversations with her about stuff that's already established. Um, Usually, she and I just talk about things that haven't been established and exciting concepts that will again be used later in the story, which is the last thing we need to be thinking about right now. Um, I don't know. There's a little voice in my head that, and Kara, if you're listening to this, you need to let me know. If you hear this, I need to talk to you, but I don't have the balls to do it. Um, I feel like we need to get some stories at the beginning out of the way. Like, you need to revise the original Brownie story, like you plan to do. The Redux you plan to do. I feel like you need to do that first. And I know I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I kind of sound douchey, but that's not my intention. See, this is why I don't have the balls to talk to you about this stuff. Because I feel like an asshole whenever I do it. I feel like I'm acting pompous and conceited. Um, I'm just trying to give my opinions of what I think needs to be done first. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But I feel like the brownies redux needs to be done first, and I I hate asking this because I feel selfish, but I know I shouldn't feel selfish because I'm literally a co-writer. I feel like I need you, and I'm twiddling my thumbs like a baby as I'm saying this, by the way. But Kara, I really want you to read the stories that I wrote already. A New Friend, and Let It Blaze, and Rose's First Batch, and read what I have written of Demons and Rose Petals. This is my formal request right now, as I'm speaking, that I would really like for you to read those if you have any time. Just wiggling this in here. But yeah, if you've gotten this far into the video and if you've heard this message, Kara, please let me know. because I never have the balls to talk to you about this stuff. So I'm wiggling this in here while I can. I'm obligated to keep this in because I usually don't cut things out of my journals. So please, all right. I'm gonna end this here now because I've had a tonsil stone in the back left of my throat for like 2 days, and it won't go away no matter how much water I gargle, no matter how much food I eat. It will not go away, and every time I inhale through my mouth while I'm talking, it tickles and it itches and it makes me cough a little bit sometimes. And I've been holding back coughs every other breath. So see there. Um, yeah, I'm gonna end this here. I feel a lot better now after I talked about all that stuff. Wow. I think this is one of the first few times that I've ever ended up feeling better after recording a journal. Holy shit. Which is sad because my entire channel is nothing but me crying over bullshit, so sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna end this here. Yep, it's my little update. Okay.